my thing with road rage, I definitely feel it. People piss me off constantly. We live in LA.
Okay.
Maybe the capital of the worst drivers in the world. Florida, close second. But my thought in my head, whenever I want to like flick someone off or I want to say something because I'm so pissed because they clearly don't know how to drive or they're just staring at their phone, I always tell myself, they have a gun. They have a gun. They have a gun and they have nothing to live for. And that is ultimately neurotic, but probably, helps keep me safe because I assume when I'm driving, when I'm on the road, I'm like, everyone's texting, everyone is on meth, and everyone has a gun.
What?
And that's how I drive.
Yeah.
And that's called defensive driving.
The beautiful thing is we're all human. This all happens.
You can do whatever you want. There's consequences, but do whatever you want.
People are going to do what they want to do.
100%.
Bottom line.
The baby's crying and the dog's barking. I'm like, you're bad. Welcome to Two Girls, One Thread. Today we're going to talk about crashing out, correct? That's our theme?
Yes.
Now, this is a term you had not heard. It's kind of recent in the zeitgeist, right? Had you ever heard that term in any context before this?
No, I hadn't.
Okay. Because I was like, it's been around, but it's more in the zeitgeist recently. So I was trying to, I know you're probably not the only person. I happen to be very, very chronically online, as we know, famously. And so I was like, I want to just make sure that everybody understands what we're speaking about before we dive into it. So welcome to Two Girls, One Thread. Today we're talking about crashing out. What does a crash out mean? First of all, crash out queen, you earned it. And I do feel that. What people mean generally is throwing a fit, breaking down, lashing out, a heightened negative emotional reaction to something, the new freaking out, snapping, having a meltdown. Does that resonate?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever crashed out?
Not really. Maybe a handful of times if I'm in line, let's say at a store, and maybe a person or two in front of you is taking a minute. It just is one of those terrible, a place you don't want to be. And
what did you do?
or even like waiting, if your plane has landed, but now you're taxiing and they say it's going to be 90 minutes till a gate opens and you're in a constrained space.
That's a nightmare.
That is a situation in which I could almost crash out, but you have no choice but to just sit there and self-soothe and get through it.
So you've never had to be forcibly removed from an airplane for your behavior?
No.
I love that for you. And what do you do when you're in line and something happens and you're feeling it? Did you ever do anything? Did you ever flip out and like, okay, I'll do the checkout. I'll, get behind the register or like key somebody's car or anything?
Never keyed someone's car.
Nice.
Have you?
I've never keyed someone's car, but my car was keyed by someone that we went to high school with famously.
Oh, amazing.
And I did think that was very cool of them. But have I ever jumped over and become the cashier? No. I don't know. I've never crashed out in a Karen type of way.
Okay.
My crash outs tend to typically be internal and emotionally based. And as I've said to you before, I do believe that God gives her toughest battles to her strongest soldiers. And I feel that is why I've experienced. No, but I think I'm a scary crash out type because I think you don't necessarily know that it's happening.
So it's just an internal meltdown.
It's an internal meltdown, and it's sort of a series of maybe behaviors that I can like look in my past and go, oh, honey, yeah, you weren't feeling so well, were you?
Yeah.
But I look back with a lot of empathy. But on that note, do you want to start reading the post? And I do love that for me.
Okay. Story number 1 is from Relationship Advice.
Great.
Help me. I'm 30 female about to crash out because of my boyfriend's 33 male drinking habits.
Oh, shit.
I, 30 female, don't know what to do. My boyfriend, 32 male, and I have been dating for almost 2 years. And around 1 year into the relationship, I noticed he increased his drinking from end of the week / weekends to a few drinks almost every other day. He drinks White Claws and beer, not hard liquor, but sometimes he would drink 4 to 5, sometimes 7 White Claws a night. One night he even projectile vomited in the bathroom, and I helped him clean it up. We had a serious talk after that incident, and he promised to taper off by having 4 max a day. I told him I would like it if he lowered his frequency as well, to just drink on the weekends and or special occasions instead of every day. It's been almost half a year, and he's maintained a steady 4 to 6 beers per day still, breaking his promise, making excuses, etc. It's the frequency that frustrates me to the point where I'm nagging him every day because he'll also drink on an empty stomach. Like, why are you drinking on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night? We've had multiple sit downs where I've communicated how uncomfortable I am with his drinking habits. I mean, if we're at a party, fine, have at it. But if it's every day from Monday through Thursday, and then, oh, it's the weekend, time to relax with some more beer. Oh, there's football on, I have to drink while watching. Like, come on. Plus, there's the jewel and weed. And on top of that, he isn't mindful of his health, doesn't frequent the doctor, or work out. I want to make this relationship work, but I honestly can't see myself spending the rest of my life worrying about his health, nagging him like a mom all the time. I know he loves me very much and he does a lot for me. Our lifestyles just don't seem like a match. I've always valued being in a relationship where both parties bring out the best in each other. And lately it hasn't been that way. I don't know what to do.
Damn. So the boyfriend's crashing out. And as a result, the girlfriend is kind of starting to freak
Yes,
out,
I think so.
essentially.
She says she doesn't know if he's bringing out the best in her.
Right. 7 Claw Daddies on a Monday night can be a vibe for sure. Maybe in a special occasion moment.
I mean, I think that malt liquor gets you a little bit more turned than a beer.
I think so too.
You can start to buzz.
I think people are, people are getting freak nasty on the Claw Daddies, and that's no joke. I mean, the question though is the fear of, she wants to be with somebody who she feels brings out the best in her, right? So, I mean, I think a lot of these posts are, people already know the answer to their own question, right? So if you're writing this post, you kind of already know that he doesn't bring out the best in you. And I think all these things can be true, that he can really love her. He can really be trying. She can be communicating really clearly. She could want it to work out, and it still could not be meant to be. I think a lot of things, but I think if you are with somebody who is struggling with addiction or alcohol specifically, seems to be the predominant issue, I think you're fooling yourself if you think that you're ever going to be the one to change that. And you are just putting yourself in this position of, it sucks to feel like you're the naggy mom.
Completely.
That's horrible.
No.
What do you think?
I agree with you. I think he would have to make a change.
Yes.
I also think with substances in general, whether it's the Juul, weed, alcohol.
Oh, right, the Juul pod,
it just becomes such a habitual thing.
Yep.
that initial quit, whether it's 48 hours, those first 5 to 7 days, will be miserable. We all know that you will sit there and crave that substance the entire time.
Yes.
I don't know. It's hard to do like a sober vacation.
Oh, I mean, I guess maybe if you go somewhere I'd go to a hot spring or something where you really could immerse yourself. But yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest part. But again, it has to be kind of driven by him. It's never going to work sustainably, because even if she let's escalate this, she's like, I'm leaving you unless you stop drinking right now. Baby, please don't go. Quits for a day, a week, whatever. We know that that's not going to stay forever because he's just doing it to get her to not leave him. I don't know. I just think that's so tricky. I mean, I personally hate being around drunk people, and which is tough as a comedian. But if I'm on stage and I can simply put them in their place, it's not an issue. But I don't like to be around. And I think there's nothing more depressing than being one-on-one with a drunk person you're sober. That is such not the vibe at all. And that's going to be your life. I mean, this is not to be, as you know, I'm a trad wife internally, not to be exaggerate too much, but this is still the courting phase, right? Are they dating or are they married?
They're dating.
So this is him on his best behavior right now. You've asked him several times if he could just even cut it back to a lower number of beers, if he's still going to drink every night, or take some nights off, whatever. She's not even giving him an ultimatum. You have to stop drinking. You need to go to therapy or rehab or A. Like, this is pretty chill, basic shit that she's asking for. And he can't do it
Yeah.
because he's addicted to it.
I
And
completely
he needs to get his
agree.
own help, you know? I think that's going to be tough. A lot of my friends are sober and they tend to not spend a lot of time around people that are using any substances, not because they are tempted, but because it's just kind of annoying. The vibes have to kind of match. There's got to be like a nice ebb and flow in terms of what, you know, I guess even substances you are dependent on.
Well, her comment about like lifestyle differences, I guess.
Yes.
I know he loves me very much and he does a lot for me. Our lifestyles just don't seem like a match.
Yeah.
Do you think that's real in relationships, that you
Yes.
can walk if you're dating someone and your lifestyles don't match?
I think you can walk whenever you want. I think sometimes you should walk. If the lifestyles that you're referring to is somebody who likes to, not saying this guy, but in general, if you're saying somebody likes to party their ass off and somebody who would prefer to be at home reading a book and going to bed at 9 o'clock, I don't think that's going to be a forever match.
Yes.
You know, if somebody's really into some sports team and you really don't give a shit, that doesn't seem like a big deal. It's like, okay, they're really into that. Great. And I'm into my own thing, as long as you're not forcing me to do your thing. But I think if it's causing so much distress, the lifestyle in question, that is going to be challenging. But I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking for myself, sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to be with somebody that's like, not a performer, not a comedian, normie, normal schedule, like tend to be drawn to people that kind of hold it down for me in that way. But then that's tricky because then they sometimes have no understanding of my life at all. And that it is kind of, there's late nights and it's all over the place and not predictable, a lot of short-term things. So that's tough. But then it's also tough to be with someone that's like you at the same time. So shares a lifestyle. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting just in terms of alcohol, let's say eating preferences
Oh, okay.
as well.
Yeah.
Like if you have someone who isn't as like diet conscious and you are diet conscious,
Yeah.
I think sometimes that can kind of create a mismatch as well.
If you're a couple that's like, the expectation ideally for either person would be that you would cook together all the time.
I think that certain people can be more inclined to be emotional eaters than others.
Yes. Okay.
I think that might have been a coping mechanism maybe when they were kids.
Right.
We all just have different relationships with food.
Yes.
So I have found that in terms of dating people who are more emotional eaters, and that's not necessarily advertised aloud, but like you can read between the lines, it tends to like kind of create some distance internally for me.
I mean, that makes sense because that is a core part that's of your day that's happening multiple times a day, every day. So if there is a big mismatch, but to me, those things like, yeah, I think when you get into the substance and when you get into people becoming self-destructive, or that's when it becomes a bigger issue. There's a lot of stuff that I could live with that, and that's not necessarily a brag. Sometimes that's not a good thing, but there's a lot that I could live with where I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be with someone that's on my ass. You know what I mean?
Completely.
So there's a lot of room for all kinds of shenanigans. But some of these core things, I mean, it's probably similar to like if religion is really important to you and then you're with somebody that's a completely different faith or is not,
Absolutely.
you know, that could be a big one. But yeah, this one, it feels pretty clear cut, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I think at
for
the
our
end of the day,
queen.
like we want to be in relationships with people who like seek to be maybe in alignment within themselves.
And alignment with
Yes.
you.
So,
Right.
you know, we both want to show up as the best version of ourselves to one another. So,
Yes. So I think that you shouldn't crash out. I think if your boy can, within himself, cut back on the claw daddies, then maybe he can, like, you know, return to you in the future, cleaned up, short little tie. That's what I would say.
Yeah, top comments. Do you want to be in a relationship with an alcoholic or do you not?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? You're 30 years old. How about you have some self-respect and not stay in
Okay.
a toxic relationship?
That's kind of extreme.
Yeah. So I think she should sit him down,
Mm-hmm.
restate all these
Yes.
concerns that she has.
Yes.
She doesn't necessarily, like, if he is actually going through a difficult time, we all hope to at least start by being a supportive partner and then say, these were my expectations.
Mm-hmm. I almost feel that because of the day-to-day thing, that actually makes it harder versus like I have exes that have had issues with alcohol, in my opinion, not a doctor technically, but they've had issues and it would more so occur in the way of we would go to a wedding and then it's like, okay, we're at a wedding with the boys, time to take 20 shots. And it's
Yeah.
like, why? Like, that's not even fun. How is that fun for you? It's definitely not fun for me. Now you're stumbling, slurring your words, gonna fall over, crush me, crush the bride. And then it's like, okay, sweetie, so the next wedding that we go to of your friend, do you think that maybe we could like limit it to like 10 shots? Or, that feels more almost manageable in a weird way because it's this clear example versus like day to day. It's like, I'm not bothering you or I'm not doing anything. It's like you're not doing anything, but you are slowly killing me in our relationship.
Completely. All right. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Okay. Crash out texts. This is from Relationship Advice again.
Thank God.
My ex, 26 male, I, 29 female, tried reconciling for months after I discovered that he was cheating, but we recently separated. It was painful, but we ended on an amicable note. I've been so kind and understanding and mature throughout our reconciliation since discovering his infidelity, and now that we're a few weeks into our separation, my anger is boiling over. I'm so mad at how I was treated, and I feel angry for my ever so slightly younger self for what I endured. I've been journaling to process the anger, which helps in the moment. Unfortunately, the other day, I saw that he removed me from a social channel, but I'm still logged into all of his accounts and in a moment of weakness opened his page.
No.
He had deleted our photos together
Holy
and
shit.
unblocked his primary affair partner. He had messaged her to apologize,
Oh.
and she was curt. I am filled with rage that he apologized to her. And yes, it's probably for the benefit of his own conscience, but I feel like it's another knife to the heart. I was the only person in this situation that deserved an apology, and yet he managed to take that away from me too. I want so badly to send him an angry text. Yeah, I know that moving, but in silence and growing without him is the ultimate revenge, but I'm just so angry. Most people advise against crash out texts, and it would probably only further tether my healing to him, but fuck, I want him to suffer and feel my pain and change his fucking passwords. So maybe I'm just venting or looking for permission to go against sound advice. Appreciate any insights.
Send the text. Send the
You
text.
think?
Send the text. Yes, I think in this situation, who gives a? I mean, I think typically I would say no. I would say typically, like if I get fired up by a text somebody sends me, work, anything, or an email, I always force myself to sleep on it,
Okay.
remove the emotion from it. This is not a text or a work email. This is, she's 29 female, he's 26, right?
Yes.
And he
they
cheated
tried
on her.
reconciling for months.
He cheated on her. I was confused about, he unblocked the person that he cheated with.
And then hit her up. And I think that woman didn't really take the bait.
Right. Okay. Right. Because she's like, this guy's a loser. And it just took me a second to realize it. I mean, I'd love them, in a movie version to become friends, the two women. I think number one, men have Saturn returns too, and nobody's talking about it. Men go through Saturn returns. He's 26. I'm giving him an excuse by giving him that astrological, buffer. But I think maybe that is part of what's happening. I think she should send the text because, well, she didn't say what she wanted to write, so maybe I should be careful. But yeah, I think, write the text yourself, send it to a friend, write it in your notes app. And if you still feel that way in like a week, You're not getting back together with this guy. Who fucking cares? Send him the text and then block him. Not that I've ever done that because I'm famously a
I
pussy.
think it just
but
seems like now she's almost more emboldened by him, by the
Yes.
woman he cheated with.
Yes.
Not responding.
Yes.
That she wants to dunk on him.
Yes. Okay, I see that.
But
I
I
see
don't know,
that.
just like get over it.
Oh,
I don't think you should send the text.
just get over the cheating?
Well, you know me. I'm not a big put anything in writing person.
I know. And that's really
We
wise.
text
Yes.
to confirm plans,
Logistics
possibly renegotiate plans, only logistics
or love,
or love.
right? Like
Yes.
appreciation.
Yes.
I love putting
Thank
that down
you.
in writing, telling people how great they are so that they can screenshot it. Cause honey, I got so many damn screenshots when I'm crashing out. I'm operating from my shadow side. I wouldn't really do this. I'm advising this because I'm feeling a little bit naughty today. I don't think that it's the highest self move, but I don't think that it is the worst thing you could do. And all things considered, I think that she does deserve, if she's never said anything and just laid it out, I think it's okay to be like, guess what, honey? You're a damn loser. Your penis is small as hell. Your breath stinks. And what a relief to be away from you. And even the person you cheated with wants nothing to do with you. Be blessed. That doesn't hurt anybody. That's what I think.
Okay. Let's see, what is
Is there an update?
No update.
They're back together. Update. We worked it out. He loved when I talked to him like that.
Yes. Top comment, your anger is valid. You gave him grace, understanding, and maturity. That's a gut punch. But here is the real question. What do you actually gain from sending that text? Will he suddenly realize his mistakes? Will he genuinely feel your pain? Probably not. He's already shown that he lacks emotional depth to take accountability when it truly matters.
Yes, he is not going to provide her any type of relief in his response. I think that would be silly to think that. But what could she gain? I think it feels good to tell people to fuck off sometimes.
You think so?
I mean, again, as somebody who famously never does that because I'm an absolute baby, but I like to talk a big game. I think that that would feel amazing. I mean, the text that I could send, honey, I definitely could see that feeling good to tell somebody. I mean, maybe not in writing. I get that point. So maybe it's better like show up, hey, I got your favorite, ratty ass sweatpants. I'm outside your place. And then just say it to their face. I mean, that would have more of an impact, but you can't expect anything back from them.
Are you a bash an ex's car in? Oh no, you said you've never keyed.
No, I would never bash an ex's car in. I've never keyed. I typically prefer to be on the receiving end of that. No ex has ever bashed my car in. They've bashed my heart in though, and that's the T.
Yeah.
Catherine, I got one for you.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm on one. You've been warned. Okay. So, okay. This is from the Reddit thread Confession. I hit rock bottom last night after years of gambling. I really need to get this off my chest and hear from others who've been through it. Hey everyone, I'm 22 years old and I've been gambling since I was 18. I've never really told anyone the full story, but after what happened last night, I feel like I finally hit my breaking point. It all started when I first went to the casino with my friends at 18. I put down $50 and somehow walked out with $1,000. That'll do it. The next day I did the same thing, another 50 into 1,000 on roulette. At that age, that kind of win felt unreal. I got hooked. For a while, it didn't seem that bad. I'd go maybe once every week or two with my mates. Oh, is this a British? Only spending around $50 each time. I was working at a Korean barbecue place, so I always had a bit of spare cash to play with. But over the years, it started to spiral. When I was 19, I got into sports betting, and that's when things got really bad. I lost every single dollar I'd saved for a trip to Asia. The trip was only a few months away, and I had to pick up another job just to make sure I didn't disappoint my girlfriend. That guilt and stress nearly broke me. I told myself I'd learn my lesson, and for a while I stopped. I went a few months clean and built my savings back up to around $6,000. Okay, King. But of course, the moment I felt safe again, I went back. I started winning again at first, and that false sense of control came flooding back. Then last night happened. I lost everything, around $14,000. Sheesh, that was all the money I had saved. I work in support work now, and I'm at a point where I barely have enough left for fuel. I'm so depressed and full of regret. I keep replaying every moment, wishing I could go back and make different life choices. What makes it even harder is pretending everything's okay, having to smile in front of my girlfriend when all I feel is guilt and shame, trying to hang out with friends and act like I'm fine when deep down I feel completely empty. It's exhausting trying to keep up the act when all I want to do is disappear for a while. I know I'm still young and that I can rebuild, but right now it just feels unbearable. I don't want to hide anymore. I don't want to keep living in this cycle of losing, rebuilding, and destroying myself again. If anyone out there has gone through something similar, how did you recover? How did you rebuild your finances and your mental health after hitting rock bottom? Any advice or even just hearing your stories would mean a lot to me. Discuss.
Wait, so he lost his savings?
A couple times. But
Okay.
the last night thing was the 14,000. That was that was, I think, sounds like maybe the third big one, because he lost the big trip he'd saved up for. There was like a $6,000, and then now the 14,000. And that has him shook.
Well, I think self-awareness is always the first step to making a positive change.
Self-awareness makes you the richest man in the damn world. Yeah? What else do you think?
I think maybe he should stop watching sports for a while.
Yes. Great practical
Could be
advice.
A good constructive strategy. I'm sure it's hard being younger. He probably hangs out with friends and they watch the games, but I can see it being a trigger.
Yes.
And I think, just stay positive. I know 14 grand is a lot of money, but he'll be able to sort it out.
He'll be able to sort it out for sure. I mean, 50 on red, 4 or
Yeah,
what?
roulette is funny. I don't know. What do you think?
I think, number one, I definitely think he's British. And that's the thing that I feel the most clear about. I think that this is salvageable. I think that he's in a mess, but I think that the frequency, it hasn't gotten fully out of control. I mean, he's close. He's dancing, he's dancing with the devil a little bit, but I think that it is savable. I think he's had these huge hits right away. It also sounds like this person is clearly a hard worker and doesn't have an issue with a work ethic and has multiple jobs, and accumulating all of this money is kind of impressive in that sense. So this isn't some jackass who's just blowing through an inheritance or like, a trust fund baby. Those consequences, like when you're working at Korean barbecue and this guy's working his ass off.
Yeah.
So he's feeling that. I mean, that's huge to lose that. So I think that the self-awareness is what is going to save him, and like the way that he laid this all out. But yeah, the sports betting, I mean, I don't know. This is an area that I'm kind of ignorant / prudish in. I personally hate gambling.
Okay.
I don't like it at all. I've never gambled at a casino. I don't find it entertaining. I think it also has to do with the fact that casinos tend to have a ton of people smoking cigarettes inside, which I hate.
Okay.
A ton of people that are really drunk, and a lot of people that seem like they don't have that much to live for. That's not an environment I typically want to soak myself into. So yeah, I don't know. I can't give like practical suggestions or anything like that, but I can empathize, but I can empathize and understand, but it just feels like, how come people still think that these casinos, like, you're never going to win. The house is always going to win, and they're going to get you hooked, and they know exactly how to do it. It's all computers now and all these things. So you're kind of walking into a landmine a little bit.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old putting $50 down 2 nights in a row, coming away $1,000, like it tracks.
I think sports betting is probably the bigger issue for our generations now.
Okay.
Just because you can do it on your phone. And
Okay.
so it just is, I mean, whether
Are a lot of people doing it?
most men that I know.
Are betting on what, like World Series games or just like
Any
college
gig.
basketball? Anything?
Yeah, anything. And I mean, it's hard because we also now live in an economy with cryptocurrency, with kind of, instant trading like Robinhood and whatnot.
Right.
So basically every single thing on our phone is gamified.
Yes.
So I can see how, putting a couple $1,000s in a Robinhood account doesn't feel that different from
Yeah.
a DraftKings account.
So you think that is more dangerous than, people that have a
Absolutely.
running poker night or something like that?
Absolutely.
Because it
Well,
can just get out of control.
I think a running poker night, we're pro socializing. So,
We are famously a pro socializing podcast.
I think the worst is just sitting at home on your phone.
Isolated.
But yes,
Right.
I think casinos are great. They're a lot of fun.
Okay.
You go with a group.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm above
Oh, I
gambling
don't.
in a casino under in the right context and environment. The problem is I like to win and like to be successful at the games.
Yes. So you have gambled before
I have
in a casino.
in a casino.
Have you ever gambled on a sports game?
No.
Okay. But a
I
casino,
don't.
it's appealing in the social aspect, or what is, or
Yeah, I think the social aspect.
Mhm.
I'm not famously good at craps. I wish I knew craps better. I think that's a game that people like.
Okay.
Blackjack, obviously poker
Hmm.
is its own beast.
Gotcha.
But yeah, casinos can be really fun. Now, would I, drive out to Morongo once a week to put 50 on red? Probably not.
I think that it's really interesting, even just hearing your experience of it, because I'm definitely not trying to say that, I'm above it. I'm just saying for my preference. I've also never had any extra money in my life. So I quite frankly cannot imagine putting down any amount of money that most likely I will never see again.
Yeah.
I understand the temptation of, oh, but I can win big. I guess I've just never felt like that was going to be a thing either. So the thought of me, that makes me feel ill. I hate wasting money. Like I feel like I have to be so precious about it. So I just can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like a foreign world, or like I've never, it feels more like a culture I'm just not part of.
I do have to say, you go to a Vegas casino, I don't know.
I've been to them, but I've never put down money.
The drinks are flowing.
I get it.
The air circulation is, I don't know what they're pumping in those casinos, but
I get it.
start to get a little loopy.
I mean, that's what they're doing to you. God knows what they're pumping. I mean, I can hang.
Yeah.
I went to my friend's bachelorette in Vegas, and I sat between her and her brother, who are both really smart and really good at, I think they're playing blackjack, and they have money and they were having fun. And I enjoyed sitting there and talking to the little guy running the table. It's always a tiny little guy.
Yeah.
That was fun. I had a little pina colada. I go to the pool. I got a nice buzz. Like, that's my vibe. I'd rather use, if I'm going to blow $50 in Vegas, I'm like, I'm going to Benihana, baby.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's what I got.
Okay, the next one is, again, relationship advice. My 38 male wife's 36
It's kind of confusing how
female
they always list it like that.
road rage is endangering our family, and I'm not sure what to do.
God.
My wife has struggled with road rage for a long time,
Jesus.
but it has gotten really bad lately. She has been in 4 accidents in the last 3 months.
Oh.
And she came home today from picking up both of our boys, having nearly gotten to another one. According to my 15-year-old, she felt this person had cut her off even though they hadn't. So she proceeded to accelerate hard and get in front to brake check them.
Oh my God.
And then this other person decided to return the favor. Back and forth several times, narrowly missing one another and almost hitting other random vehicles.
Oh my God.
It scares the hell out of me to think what the kids are emotionally going through when this is happening, and scares me even more to think what could happen if there is a crash, or worse, somebody pulls a gun on them. I am looking for suggestions on how to handle the situation. There seems to be no end in sight to her dangerous driving.
Jesus.
Whenever I try to talk to her about it, she takes zero accountability and just blames everyone else's driving. She straight up lies about what actually happened and gets extremely defensive about me not being on her side. I just want her and my kids to be safe on the road.
Holy shit.
So, My wife's road rage is endangering our family, and I'm not sure what to do.
Step 1, take her keys away.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2, take her license away. Step 3, give your children explicit instructions that they are not to get in the car with their mom. We're doing Ubers, we're doing carpool. Dad's gonna come pick them up. 3 accidents? What was it in the last 4 months or
Yeah, I don't
4
know
in the
how she
last
still has
3
a
months?
license.
That's what I'm saying. How is that even possible? Dash cam, that was in the past because my kids, I'll say this, could never be me. Could never be me. I have kids and you have that severe of road rage, honey, seek treatment and you're not going to be working this out with my kids'
Yes.
lives in the car. I do not play about stuff like that. I actually hate that. I know you kind of made a face when you said the thing about or worse if someone like what the dad is like scared of. My thing with road rage, I definitely feel it. People piss me off constantly. We live in LA,
Okay.
maybe the capital of the worst drivers in the world. Florida, close second. But my thought in my head, whenever I want to like flick someone off or I want to say something because I'm so pissed because they clearly don't know how to drive or they're just staring at their phone, I always tell myself, they have a gun. They have a gun. They have a gun and they have nothing to live for. And that is ultimately neurotic, but probably, helps keep me safe because I do like, I assume when I'm driving, when I'm on the road, I'm like, everyone's texting, everyone is on meth, and everyone has a gun.
What?
And that's how I drive.
Yeah.
And that's called defensive driving.
Okay.
You don't feel that way? You just said, what?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think a wave can build a lot of bridges.
Yes, but I don't think that solves this. A wave? Wave to who? He needs to wave bye to his wife, take his kids, put them in the car, and as I said before, take her keys away so she doesn't kill herself or somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like there's maybe some anger issues.
Yes.
Constructive strategies. Maybe she should start working out, like a daily fitness practice.
I'm sure that could help.
10,000 steps.
Yes. Those are all good suggestions. Yeah. I just think like when it gets to this point, like this isn't even, oh, we had 3 close calls. You had 3 full-blown accidents. Your teenage children are telling you, I'm worried something more is going on than road rage.
Yeah.
At this point. I don't know. This would be very like, I just would never, I don't know. It's not a judgment. I'm just saying that for me, this would be such a big issue that it would never get to this point. And yeah, I don't know how she has a license if she's causing all these accidents. What state are they in? But Kath says, give a wave, get your 10,000 steps in. And I say, be safe out there. Assume everyone is on meth, texting, and has a gun. And don't engage with people who have road rage because they're unpredictable. Did we solve it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I have one more for us.
Sounds good.
I'm laughing at how horrified you were by the thought that I have in my head almost every day when I'm driving. Okay. Let me just see really quick. Okay, you know what? Actually, let's end on this because I feel that this is positive.
Okay, sounds good.
And one thing we love here is good vibes.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So this is from the Reddit thread, Occult. Years of inner work saved me from a monumental crash out after my breakup. I wanted to muse on this with the community, a gentle reminder of why devotion to inner work can be so important when things seem to fall apart in life. I recently separated from someone I thought was my life partner for several years. It didn't end well, and I was on the receiving end of some very painful words and behaviors. The person I thought I knew revealed their hidden self overnight. It hurt me, confused me, and put me in a very dark place for weeks. In my younger, more chaotic years, I know the response I would have had from all this. Projection, a desire for revenge, a long-lasting grudge, making sure all my friends knew how I was wronged. But I didn't have that in me this time. I attribute my many years of inner work with Babylon, ritual meditation, and sacred love to allowing me the space to heal inward instead of self-destructing outward. The breakup couldn't have come at a worse time. I've been out of work for months following a layoff at my company. The job hunt has felt futile and has made me very small for a while. The breakup seemed to be the last nail in the coffin. When my relationship ended, I mentioned that I had given every part of myself to this person as a demonstration of my devotion to them, and privately, the divine. Loving them felt like I'd been opened up and emptied out. I still believe that. The person I was in that relationship was destroyed, disemboweled, given away by the time it all ended. But the person I've transformed into throughout this healing journey is one who gives themselves the same love that they give to others. One who doesn't abandon themselves for the sake of loving someone who could not reciprocate emotional commitments. When we got together, I was sure my ex was a blessing from the goddess, someone who would finally meet me where I was and commit to a future of genuine connection and emotional maturity. And for a while, it did seem like that. When things started to go south, I was anxious, insecure, and guilty that I had done or said something to ruin it. I see now that the gift I was given was the opportunity to learn how to love and be there for myself in a relationship. So when the right person comes along, that love will be complete and not halved. Through inner work and group therapy, I've learned a lot more about the type of relationship dynamics I was in. I've learned more about avoidant attachment styles and how other people's past trauma can impact your experience in a relationship. Through communing with the goddess, the question revealed itself to me time and time again. How can I love anyone when I can't show up for myself in the same way? The goddess swallowed me up and spit me out, and I feel wiser for it now. Weeks after our breakup, a sudden abundance of job opportunities started coming my way. Salary offers I never dreamed I'd get. I had also became much closer to my friends and the groups my ex tried to ice me out of after we broke up. I didn't need to explain myself anymore. I didn't need to talk down about my ex. I chose to walk with grace and restraint. When my ex tried to drag my name through the mud, it did hurt. But I didn't do that. When she slept with the first guy she could almost immediately after things ended, it hurt a lot, but I didn't do that. I saw how she imploded. I knew it wasn't processing, it wasn't healing. It was like watching a wounded child. I alchemized what felt like personal attacks into pity. And when I finally decided that the closure I sought would not come from her, I chose no contact. I still feel the pain. I'm still healing. I've never felt lonelier in life than I do now, but it is not a scary, depressive experience. It is a sobering one. It brings me the clarity that I did not have before, and I know it is temporary. I honor the blessings and wisdom I've been given every chance I get. I am so grateful to my friends and family for reminding me that some of the strongest love can be found outside of a romantic relationship. Amen to that. And I'm grateful to Venus, Babylon, and all the currents of the goddess of love for guiding me along this path. Keep working to better yourself on whatever path you follow. Remind yourself from time to time that this is why we do it. The harvest is coming and you will reap the good work you sow. May the love and abundance you need find you in this life for the highest good of all involved. And may it also find her. I thought that was pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. So the TLDR is we wish everyone well.
The TLDR would be TLDR, years of inner work gave me clarity after a difficult breakup. Now I am surrounded by a love I couldn't see before.
Mm-hmm. I think it's beautiful.
So it is possible to prevent a crash out, is kind of what they're saying, with inner work.
I thought the inner work for her came after the breakup.
But I'm saying the crash out.
Oh, the crash out.
The crash out is preventable due to the inner work that she had done, right? Because she kind of was reflecting on being earlier in her 20s, more chaotic in the decisions that she would have made. And then she's seeing all these things happening and coming down the line, and she's able to sort of re-alchemize them into these different things of perceiving her ex as a wounded child, or you know, seeing things maybe a little bit more clearly for what they are. But I think it all does come down to loving yourself at the end of the damn day, is what it sounds like, right?
Yeah, I think so. I guess I would typify crash out being a little bit more maybe like in the moment.
I think that they would have crashed out had this breakup happened, you know, a few years before they had done all this work, maybe.
Yeah. What were your thoughts when you read that for the first time?
I had many thoughts when I was reading that for the first time. I thought that, I thought this person demonstrated a lot of emotional intelligence and self-reflection. And I thought that I really liked how they worded a lot of their experiences, because they didn't minimize the pain that they felt. And you still very much can feel it. reading it, and they have a lot of empathy for themselves and also for their ex and for the other person. And I thought that was very admirable. And I also appreciated that they broke down kind of the micro interactions and what they maybe would have done in the past and some of the things that did specifically help them and some of these kind of anchored thoughts, because sometimes I think people like to imagine, oh, these people are so highly evolved, we don't even know how they got there. And it's like, no, that just because you're choosing kindness, and that doesn't mean that you're not also suffering and having to struggle through this stuff. So I liked that it felt real,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad that they didn't have a crash out. And I love that they ended it with, love and light to themselves and to their ex and to everybody. I mean, that's the vibe. But they also did slip in there that they went no contact.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
they're saying they have pity for the person and they understand where they're coming from, but they can also sort of choose to protect themselves if that person is demonstrating an inability to restrain themselves from lashing out at them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I took away from it.
Yes. Well, and I think to not crash out
Mhm.
means that you have some self-regulation, like an
Yes.
ability to self-soothe
Mhm.
in a lot of ways. And so I think in terms of a relationship with others,
Mhm.
an ability to self-soothe usually can lead to a sort of unconditional love for yourself.
Yes.
And then hopefully as well, the people that you like choose to be in a relationship with.
Yes.
So I think while we root for our partners to love us unconditionally as well, when reality reveals itself and we find out they don't, it definitely hurts our feelings.
Mhm.
But at the same time, through loving ourselves unconditionally,
Mhm.
we have to do right by ourselves and just try our best to let go. So I do understand the no contact
Yeah, I think so.
as just being more of like a tool of self-respect rather than anything else.
Yeah. I also think that, when people are hurt, we act out from all different kinds of places, and everybody's ability to soothe themselves and what experiences they've had and the depth of which they're
Mhm.
able to do that is obviously a huge spectrum. But I do think that sometimes somebody like this probably is pretty triggering to people around them, because
Mhm.
often, like, it happens in a lot of different ways, but sometimes when someone is kind of grounded themselves and does love themselves and they're not attacking anybody with that, that's just a thing that they've developed within themselves. But I feel like I've observed anecdotally and heard and experienced anecdotally where sometimes that can set people off because it just reminds them of how they don't do that for themselves.
Okay.
And then instead of doubling down and loving themselves more, they act out and they, project it onto other people. So I think it's really hard to do what this person is doing. They sound like a damn monk,
Yeah.
just taking it on the chin, but also protecting themselves, having empathy for that person. But that doesn't mean that you have access to my life.
Okay.
Okay, Kath. I think that's the app.